Today, Gazumping and Underquoting City. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. One of these posts covering finance and property news. Ethical behaviour is a rather rare commodity in the property sales industry, especially where markets are being talked up to fever pitch and first-time buyers are rushing in thanks to the government's generous support and 5% deposit scheme. Even as property investors are borrowing more than ever, it's a heady mix ripe to propagate unethical behaviour. In some states like Queensland, areas around Brisbane have seen house prices reaching record highs since the federal government's expanded first home buyer scheme. And open homes for properties at the lower end of the market are attracting up to 150 potential buyers in some places. Brisbane actually surpassed Canberra and Melbourne to have a median house price of $1.1 million. That's according to Domain's September quarter report. Brisbane has been on a super cycle for some time, and there is still energy in Brisbane's housing market, said Domain's research chief Nicola Powell. The expansion of the home guarantee scheme has put an additional spark of energy back in. 55% of first home buyers are feeling a sense of urgency to purchase before prices rise even further, according to Great Southern Bank's survey of 2,000 Australians looking to buy their first home. The urgency is higher among younger people, with 53% of Generation Z buyers feeling pressure to lock in a home purchase. I encourage buyers to get loan pre-approval, said Rolf Sundstrom, Chief Customer Officer at Great Southern Bank. Additionally, loans with longer terms come with lower payments, enhancing affordability and helping buyers step onto the property ladder soon. But we are getting stories of gazumping, the industry term for when a seller or an agent acting on their behalf informally or verbally accepts an offer for a property but subsequently sells it to somebody else, usually at a higher price. Now remember that informal offers, even if verbally accepted, are not legally enforceable or binding as a general rule, which is important for prospective buyers to understand. If a real estate agent acts for the seller, they are generally obliged to communicate any new offers to a seller before the contract of sale has been signed. And the illegal practice of underquoting, when an agent advertises the property at a lower price than what it is estimated to sell for in order to attract more buyers, has been rife in the market too. Underquoting is typically used to attract buyers to auctions which may be well above their budget, creating a false sense of competition that can drive the final sale price higher. And it can also magnify the apparent success of agents who achieve results well above the prices that were anticipated. The Victorian government announced a winter blitz on underquoting after it received more than 4,200 complaints, and the Sydney Morning Herald found 50% of the 10,772 sales that they tracked sold at least 10% over the price guide. In August, New South Wales Fair Trading suspended the real estate licence of Joshua Teslin for alleged underquoting, dummy bidding, producing false documents, and other breaches of the rules of conduct. And more than 100 penalties were issued by New South Wales Fair Trading for underquoting in 2024. And now the AFR has reported that fines for underquoting in New South Wales will be increased by 5 times as the state government cracks down on real estate agents' use of misleading price guides in a hot market where buyers are already scrambling to secure a home. Under tough new rules proposed for the state, agents will have to maintain a price or price guides on every property they list for sale so buyers don't waste their time on properties they can't afford. Under the proposed reforms, the penalty for underquoting will jump from $20,000 to $110,000, or 3 times the agent's commission, whichever is greater. And New South Wales agents will be required to publish a statement of information to help buyers understand how a price was calculated, along with any other changes which have been modelled on underquoting laws that Victoria introduced almost a decade ago, although As you see, enforcement is the problem because underquoting is still going on in Victoria too. There is a broad recognition, not only from buyers, but across the property industry, that stronger underquoting laws are needed to restore trust and improve transparency in property sales, the Minister for Better Regulation and Fair Trading said in New South Wales. Our message is that we hear you. We've developed a package of reforms and are now consulting with the sector to ensure we get the balance right between consumer protection and practical implementation for industry, he said. The laws will help New South Wales Fair Trading Strata and Property Task Force to take greater action against misconduct, but the legislation isn't expected to be implemented until next year, when it's due to be introduced into the New South Wales Parliament. These proposed reforms are designed to bring greater transparency to property sales and ensure buyers are not misled by inaccurate price guides. Strata and Property Services Commissioner Angus Aberdeen said, the proposed statement of information and advertising rules will help buyers make informed decisions and reduce wasted time and money, a win for consumers already struggling with cost of living pressures. But of course, the issue here again is not just making the rules, but enforcing the rules. And certainly, in my experience and talking to a lot of people recently, it's enforcement which is the problem. They're just not doing it. Now, looking at the auction clearance rates, the latest data from Domain on preliminary auction clearance rates revealed that more properties were listed for auction this past weekend at 3,609, compared with 3,375 last year. And the national clearance rate was reported at 65.1%, compared to 56.2% last year. But that said, the preliminary clearance rates are always warped because, as we've discussed before, agents tend to report successful sales ahead of those which failed or were withdrawn. In Sydney, the reported clearance of 67.1% was actually 42.4%. In Melbourne, rather than being 65.6%, it was actually 47.3%. And nationally, while 65.1% was reported, it was really 44%. So these myopic reports are, in my opinion, another source of misinformation for prospective buyers. And in addition, information about agreed sales, and especially the agreed sale price, is hard to locate and is sometimes renegotiated subsequently as new information comes to light, and is also sometimes simply withheld, especially in some states where property transaction data has been privatised. At least in New South Wales, the valuer general data is available, but only after settlement. And we wonder for how long, though, because it's a valuable resource, but one the industry would love to see, well, disappear. So all up, as Edwin and I will discuss in our rant tomorrow, this is a time for cool heads and not playing the industry's games. Remember, property portals and media sites measure success in clicks and views, not truth or good property outcomes. Remove the emotion, get the information to be best informed, and beware of gazumping and underquoting practices which still stain the industry. And avoid the hype. Now, if you're buying your home in Sydney's contentious market, you don't need to stand alone. This is the time you need to have Edwin Almeida from Ribbon Property Consultants standing alongside you. Buying a property is both challenging and adversarial. The vendor has a professional on their side. Emotions run high, price discovery and price transparency are hard to find, and then there's the wasted time and financial investments that you make. Edwin understands your needs, so why not engage a licensed professional to stand alongside you? With RPC, you know you have experience, knowledge, and master negotiators looking after your best interests. So shoot Ribbon an email at info@ribbonproperty.com.au, and if you use the promo code DFAWTW/Martin, you can get a 10% discount offer. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.